let me teach you how you instinctively read from the Word of God so that you can purposely read from the Word of God. Because all life reads from the Word of God. Even this dog. You know what I'm saying? You gotta understand who God is. God's an element of eternal consciousness that has existed for eternity. An element of consciousness that has eternally existed. And the Word of God is something that's eternally existed also. Before human writing. Before human words. So this tells me, that's another reason why human words can't be the Word of God. And God being an element of consciousness, they wrote, their words with consciousness. And they wrote it in things like this river, and the rocks, the stones, the trees, the sky, the air, Everything they created, they put their words in it. And it's real simple. You observe anything God created, you observe water, you'll gain a conscious understanding. And it's the same understanding that's always gained by all life that observes water, Same with plant life, same with animal life, same with stone. Conscious understandings. That's the way God writes shit down, That's how God wrote our Bible. You could call it our Bible if you want. With consciousness. And yes, it may not make sense because there's no words or nothing. But you got to realize, God created our mind and God created everything else on this that exists, And when we use our mind to observe their creation, we gain understandings. And the more we understand, the stronger our thought process is. Naturally, instinctively, It's like the instinctive way of gaining God's wisdom, basically. And that's how all life is able to survive. It's how we can eat food. We can find out different ways to eat food, what to eat. We can find out how to build shelter, different ways to build shelter. We can ask philosophy questions. We can ask science questions, And when it comes to the realms of spiritual and religious thoughts, you can ask questions like, who are you, God? Who is God, What kind of being is God? Different things like that. All this stuff about God, all kinds of different knowledge about who God is and all this stuff. It's contained in their creation. Their words are in their creation. As a being of consciousness, they use consciousness, to write with. They don't use human words to write. They use consciousness to write. In any case, this world's jacked up. And I think it's due to, a lack of divine wisdom. People just don't have it anymore. Even our most religious people, our religious leaders, yeah, they may be right with some stuff, but a lot of the stuff, they just don't know what's going on, And you ask anybody, you could ask any religious leader if they know God. They're like, yeah, I know God. And like, could you know God more? They're like, oh yeah, I could know God way more. And if they say that they can't know God more, they're lying. But in any case, now you know how to read from the Word of God. Gain all the conscious understandings they placed in their creation and strengthen your mind. Then you'll be able to answer all the questions you want. In any case, it's what this world needs right now. That's what I believe. This world needs divine wisdom. And it's been in the front of our face this entire time. We've been instinctively reading from it, I think it's time to purposely read from the Word of God. You know what I'm saying? Like, simply put, the major religions of today, they go back to Moses. Look at it like this. If Moses didn't spend so much time in the wilderness, he wouldn't have wrote that book. He wouldn't have wrote those laws. He wouldn't have come to know who God is. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep that in mind. You want the source of the religious book you're reading, you want to go to the source of that knowledge. And the source of the knowledge is everything God created. And those conscious understandings they put in their creation. Because, hey, that's their language. Consciousness. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, try to understand the nature of this reality so, you can understand things because we're all human, you know what I mean? We're all human.